you see on CNN is anti-Trump slogans and white supremacy. But where are those good old conservative values and a faith in God? Lucky there's the Orange Men Pod. Lucky there's two men who positively can do all the things that make us laugh and cry. We are the Orange Men Pod. Hey everybody, welcome to a glorious Sunday afternoon. I'm going to try to do this podcast without any beer. Probably won't be able to do it. I'm probably going to have to rush to the refrigerator where I have a couple of cold ones waiting with my name on them. Hey, Clint.
Sunday afternoon. What's up, Dave? How's it going? Glad to be here.
Yeah, sorry we're so late.
Oh, it's all right.
But, we had a death in the family. Stepfather passed away, married to my mom for 39 long, wonderful years. So
that's good.
Rest in peace, Irv. This podcast is dedicated to you. All right, so jumping right into it, this Jussie Smollett fake MAGA hoax,
right?
Racism, whatever they want, whatever they call
personified.
Yeah, it was funny because when it first happened, as soon as the media heard, oh, it's a guy wearing a MAGA hat, jumped right in.
Yeah, like Trump. This is Trump country.
Yeah, come on. So they jumped right in before they had any facts, as usual.
Yeah.
As long as it potentially incriminates Donald Trump or anybody who associates with him, we're going to go in without any facts and start ripping people apart.
Well, facts don't matter unless you're against the facts of the other side that's spitting the proper facts.
Well, everybody in this country now, if they don't see it now, they're never going to see it.
Correct. These
people came out in full force bashing Trump and MAGA and Trump followers and were white supremacists, racists. This Jussie Smollett was a great guy. He didn't deserve it, blah, 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 blah. Kamala Harris even came out and said this was a modern-day lynching.
Yeah, well, they also met like 2 weeks before or something like that at some little like rally within Chicago or the south side of Chicago. So I don't know. And this was while she was running for president. So it wasn't even like she was the vice presidential nominee when this stuff happens. Like, people need to realize the timing of this was when she was trying to be the presidential nominee. And she was also running her bail fund and everything else that help these criminals out that are, burning down your cities, bail them back out to turn around and do it again.
Well, yeah, and that all beside the point. Mm-hmm. Once this thing turns out to be a hoax, it's proven a dude's convicted of 5 out of 6 counts.
We had Biden also tweeting out like, this is an absolute about hatred against people.
Yeah, before.
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
I know he tweeted after. I don't know what he said, but
no, I'm talking about when this first happened.
Yeah, but no one said nothing yet since it's over.
Well, because they can't.
Nobody.
They can't walk it back and apologize. Because,
yes, they can.
Well, they won't. They won't. I mean, even when Psaki was called out about it, it's the same thing with the Rittenhouse stuff. Well, let's worry about what Trump said. All right, never mind what the president said now or after the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, what he said then, that it was clearly white supremacy and this and this and this. The same thing he said about the Jussie Smollett thing. And you have to remember, this is also an African-American man, also a gay man. So you went like triple over the top of different classes.
Triple-double.
Yeah, so you had a man that was gay and also a person of color who was attacked by white Nigerians.
A gay black guy. weren't the two guys that supposedly attacked him black?
They weren't supposedly black. They were black.
They were black. Oh my God.
But they were brothers. There's video of him walking through it the day before or 2 nights before.
Right.
And
right.
The rope that was around his neck, because the body cam footage came out shortly after, and everybody's like, nah. It was like clothesline rope. So I guess that was, that's all you could find at the local hardware store.
Was it tied in a noose?
I don't know what it was.
They probably didn't even know how to tie a noose.
Well, it didn't look. I mean, when I saw it, it didn't look like it was in a noose around his neck. It just looked like a rope that was kind of.
Okay.
You know, they probably tied a knot on it so you could pull it tight. It wasn't an actual.
Well, their silence on this whole matter is all you need to know.
Yeah, but the people just fall in line.
Crickets.
It's the same thing with everything that's going on in this country with the media. They blow it up. I mean, look at what happened with Nick Sandman. You know what I mean? The guy. Oh, look at this guy. He's clearly instigating this veteran Indian guy. And it's like, well, once we saw the whole video of the situation of what actually happened, what actually transpired was this dude was on the steps with his classmates. This guy comes up, beating it, walks up to them.
Yeah.
Beating his drum, and the media's like, clearly he's a. Oh, what are you talking about? But it's the narrative that they show in that 4 or 5 seconds of the guy in his face beating his drum, and he just happens to be smiling because the awkward 16 or 15-year-old at the time, whatever it was, doesn't know how to handle the situation. Whereas most people probably would have just been like, dude, get out of my fucking face. If they were an adult.
Well, what did the kid do?
Nothing.
Just stood there.
He stood there. And then finally it separated. It got broken up because, I don't know, maybe the guy didn't get a reaction that he wanted, so nothing happened. And it's the same thing now. Like, and people, even after the fact, like, with the Jussie Smollett thing, I mean, I remember everybody's like, yo, there's no MAGA white dudes in that neighborhood.
Right.
At 2 a.m, nonetheless, getting a sandwich, who just happened. So I guess these people were tracking him down and stalking him, is basically what he was trying to say. Because when you watch the Robin Roberts, who still hasn't, like you said, come out and apologize after the fact, like, you know, I was pretty critical in that interview.
Right.
About what had happened, and he's tearing up and crying and telling me how he's told them to go F themselves and stood up for himself. Like, the dude's an actor. It's the same thing that happened with Alec Baldwin. He's an actor. They're playing a fucking game. They play pretend for life. And when somebody actually, if somebody were to actually punch Jussie Smollett in the face, you would have known. If somebody would have really attacked him, they would have attacked him. They wouldn't have just, oh, they threw bleach on me. Well, how come your eyes weren't burned out?
Well, Michael Jackson was throwing bleach on himself for 10 years. No one said a word.
How come his eyes weren't burned out? Oh, let me wash this bleach off. Let me pull this rope off of my neck. Like, it's a show. It's an act.
Well, we already know that now, so.
And again, it was just one more circumstance of the left last year.
Shame on the media.
Last year.
For not coming out.
Well, they're not going to
apologize. And apologize.
They're not going to.
Shame on them. And everybody, now you're either an accomplice or you're just stupid. I mean, you
what are all?
You hate Donald Trump and the MAGA movement so much that you're willing to just go along with lying, cheating, and stealing?
Well, it's fake race crimes.
It's so important. They're so dangerous that you got to pull this crap and lie, cheat, and steal because Donald Trump is that dangerous.
No,
how does that get into your head?
And it is kind of funny how, getting back with the Smollett thing, like, you don't have anybody that goes like, well, you know, we were deceived by what he said. We took it as, you know, everything was true, and it's.
Like, yeah, I mean, that's not real journalism.
Not just the journalists, but also the politicians. Like, it wasn't just those two. It just happens to be the vice president and the president now who were biggest proponents of, well, clearly this hate crime can't happen now in these day and ages. And like you said, you had her saying it was a modern day lynching.
Yeah.
Dope. Well, she hasn't come out and since apologized for it. And I don't expect her to. I don't expect any of them to, because that's fine. Don't. But also don't, like you're saying, they're so quick to jump to these conclusions, and it's not even we're guilty by association, so to speak, because of the movement. But all these people, like, once something happens where it's proven wrong or the other side of it, it's just forgotten because the media is on their side. And when you have the one guy who's in the White House press room asking the questions, and it's just like, he's not going to walk that back. Next question. We move along.
Yeah.
Right. Like, there is no follow-up to those because there's nobody else asking the other questions of it. It's one guy.
All right. Well, I guess that's all I got to say on that. Shame on the media. Shame on the President of the United States. Shame on the Vice President of the United States. And,
Well, yeah, and it was
and
also
shame on everybody who jumped on that bandwagon.
It was a lot of
and
other
didn't come back out and apologize.
congressmen and women, and also
Them too.
the stars and the elites, and this is such a disgraceful act. And then shortly after that, you had the Bubba Wallace, noose in the garage thing, and it was a
garage pole.
All the doors were like that. You know what I mean? It was like that last year because there was pictures from it last year. And you know what? That guy didn't have that garage then last year. It's just easy for them to pull it. It's the way the knots are tied. You know what I mean? Like, not everything is racist, homophobic, and nobody hates you. And the fact that we have to keep on clarifying that all the time, is bothersome.
Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to gain from it. I don't know what the game plan is. I don't know what the end game is.
Well, I think part of his thing too was with his show. They were kind of like writing him out on Empire, and he was
mad.
I don't know if he was mad, but he was looking for attention. And I don't know if he was put up to it because he happens to be a person of color who happens to
black. He's black. Stop saying person of color.
Who also happens to like.
I'm a person of color.
Who also happens to like dudes.
Let me just.
I mean, I don't
let me
know.
Just straighten you out for a second.
I gotcha. I just like saying it.
Black is the absence of color.
Right.
Got it? Okay. So you can't say a person of color. That would mean he'd be like purple or something. Well, he's black.
He's black. That's a color.
No, it isn't. It's the absence of color.
All right, whatever.
Jesus, God, what am I going to do with you?
It's semantics.
It's not semantics. People say people of color to try to be less offensive because they think saying black is offensive.
Well, the people that say people of color the most are the Democrats who always identify everybody by.
You just made my point.
By color. I just like saying it because I know it aggravates you, and
it does. It aggravates me to no end.
That's better. Whatever you're doing there.
Yeah, I know. I was.
You just messed it up.
I didn't mess it up. I need a new soundboard.
Sorry, we're in the middle of technical difficulties.
I need a new soundboard.
But I just think he was having an issue on the show, and he was looking for attention, and
yeah, I think so too.
He might have been put up to it by the Democrats because he happens to be a prominent member of the
black community.
No, the
black gay community.
Yeah.
Black gay
and he's a big
lesbian community.
He's a big I watched Empire for a little bit. I liked his character. And that's what I mean. Like I don't like him now because he's an asshole.
Right. I don't like him now because of the content of his character.
I didn't care that he was gay or black or African American or whatever. I knew the role he was playing on his show was what it was. You know what I mean? He wasn't a hard ass. He's not a hard ass in real life. But the point is that...
So was he really acting then?
I didn't mind him then.
Or was he just being himself?
Now he's just an asshole who tries to claim that a whole group of people who happen to be Trump supporters yelling MAGA country at 2 a.m.
Yeah, I got a feeling somebody put him up to
in the middle of a blustery Chicago winter.
Because here's a guy who's talented, clearly. He's got a good career. He's going to move on and continue acting.
He probably could have gotten his own show and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, he could have done anything. Why this?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if he was put up to it or he just was like, And those guys worked on the show at one point. The two other fellows that actually
they were like bodybuilders or something, aren't they?
Yeah, they were like models, extras, but I think they were like some kind of they were like dudes that were like security or something in the show or something. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they were like prominent actors.
Yeah, well, I think...
So he had to have known them to get a hold of them.
The funny thing, credibility means nothing anymore.
Hey, thanks for listening. I gotta go shoot one into the sink.